as you guys know, we changed from Juicebox Talk to Soul Talk, but some people still don't know that, so we're going to be addressing that at the start of our episode. So, welcome to Soul Talk, episode 4, I believe, your favorite quarantine cast, because it's too hard for us to meet in person. Before I get into the start of the show, you just told me you discovered a chat room.
Yes. I had to backpedal a little bit because Matthew made it sound really bad. There's a person on Twitter I follow, and he was talking about the importance of audio, and we are trying to figure out the best way to make our audio perfect for you guys. Just because during playback, we can hear some of the little discrepancies that happen throughout the podcast. But his thing was like, when you're doing things, 90% of what people or that 90% of the things that people care about is audio. If you have a crappy TV show, or like when you're doing a video yourself and the video kind of sucks, if you have good audio, people will listen to it. But if it's like the audio is off and stuff like that, it just goes to shit. But he was talking about, he had a Shure mic and he plugged it in to the bottom of his iPhone with like a USB dongle lightning cable thing. It sounded amazing. It sounds like the way we sound now, but until Zoom and everything compresses it. So that's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah.
Because when you hear it, it sounds
No,
the
yeah,
way it sounds.
and that's
But
the,
it
a
was
lot
just,
of people like, because why would they
yeah.
like? Not that people complain about the audio of our show, but we notice it because we hear each other just
Yeah.
through voice over IP. But it goes from Zoom compresses it when we download it, and then whatever program we use compresses it again. So essentially,
It
it's
compresses
double
it again.
compressed from how we hear each other.
And then I compress it when I put it in Final Cut. And then Final Cut exports it as like 100 gig file, but YouTube won't accept that because it's too big. So I compress it again. So it's already been compressed like 3 or 4 times on both of our ends before you guys get to hear it. So it's just trying to find the best way to do it. And he was talking about like how underrated USB mics are too compared to like XLR. I mean, XLR is still far superior for many things, but it's like a USB mic literally just plugs into the back of your mic and then into whatever that has a USB port into it, and you can record. So
and
it's like,
and like 9 times out of 10, there's no drivers or anything that are real, like nothing third party to download.
yeah,
Like a lot, like especially like our Yeti mics. I mean, if you have $250 to spend on a mic, it's a great mic to get.
yeah,
As far as like not, because when you get an XLR, you need all the additional cables.
yeah. You need that little like box thing that
yeah,
it plugs
all
into,
that-
and like a relay thing, and all
that's
the little
such a pain.
buttons. That just, I don't know.
I mean, if it's two people in the same room, that's great because the Shure mic's really good about not picking up background noise. Those are like some of the most clear mics you're ever gonna talk
Yeah.
into. That's what a lot of just like professionals use.
Yeah, that's what a lot
their
of people
Shure
use in
mics.
general. Yeah, like because I didn't find out about them until a yearish ago. There's a photographer I follow, Paul Ripke, and he used to do a daily Ripke series on Instagram, and he was already really popular on his own, but like he was just like one of the pioneers that was like, you need to get into Instagram, like doing video for it, because it's like Instagram at the time was like trying to compete with like Snapchat by doing like the little stories and stuff, and they're like, there's other people like Jesse Driftwood that do like videos in their stories, but he's like, I'm doing a video on my feed and it's going to be on there on the IGTV part of it. And he used a Shure mic, and it's a Shure mic that is like it's the MV88 Plus, I think. That sounds, but anyways, it's a mic that has a lightning cable on the bottom of it. So you just plug it in and play. It looks amazing. Let's see if Matt can find a picture of it.
Shure MV88 mic. Oh, it's so cute.
It is kind of pricey. It's like 250.
Yeah,
but it comes with like,
you're never gonna find a mic that's gonna be really less than that. Is the problem?
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's Shure. They're a well-known company, and it's like, it's a miniature mic. It looks like one that goes on top of my DSLR already. One of those like, but mine's a Rode mic. It's a Rode Go, but that's a 3.5. But it's just, this is a miniature mic. Has a little dead cat. Comes with a tripod. You can also buy it without all that and just the mic for like, I think it's like $100-ish, and it comes with like the mic and dead cat and stuff like that. But it was just like, he was a big advocate of like, I do shoot with Leica and like expensive cameras, but when I do these daily ripkeys, I literally just use my phone and record and then edit everything on my phone because it's like you always have your phone with you. You're always doing things on it, and phones are saying as good as they are, and you want to test that by like doing this. So it's like it was really cool seeing it, and I'm like, man, he literally has like a $5,000 lens on a $10,000 camera, and he's choosing to shoot with his iPhone. He probably knows something that I don't. So it was just
I mean, I imagine that it's really just comes down to ease of.
yeah, it comes down to ease of
You
use.
don't want
It's
to lug your stuff, so you're more inclined to take because I mean iPhone cameras already they do well enough that like we were saying about uploading files to wherever you upload, you can only upload a certain amount. So like the iPhone does good enough to upload it to like
yeah,
you wouldn't notice it whether you took it with your $10,000 setup in a camera or your $1,200 iPhone. It would look the
yeah.
same on
It's just
Instagram.
yeah, it just compresses it, and it's still going to look the same. So
Exactly.
it's
So it's
just
like
like
if you can get a mic like that from a creating standpoint, like he's saying, audio is the most important part because how often do you have things going on as background noise?
yeah,
So it's that does definitely make sense. But you were mentioning this club app where you said you have to use your real name to talk to strangers.
yes. Again, that sounds bad out of context, but we were talking about last week. We were Gary Vee came up with something like that, but Gary Vee does like this weekly segment where it's like hot or not or hot or drop or something like that, where it's like new things come out content wise, and people want his suggestions on like should we invest in and do stuff like that. But the company is called the Clubhouse Drop In Audio Chat, and it's like it almost looks like a Facebook or like a Instagram type of thing where you sign in, but instead of using like a username, you use like your actual name or like a I guess I can use Juicebox Tony, but it's just like you can have conversations with people. It's kind of like the Whisper app, but there's no hidden catfishing thing behind it.
There will be. There's always a way.
Yeah, there's always a way to get it in there, but it's like that's the way the platform again that Whisper
So
probably didn't plan for
Clubhouse
that either.
drop in. I would show it, but I just tried to pull it up on my PC, and apparently it's only on Apple right now.
Yeah.
Because I was just gonna pull it up and then
Um
quickly or sign up for it, and so I can't share it with my iPhone unfortunately because I
yeah, he
record
said
on
it's supposed to
Word
be
instead of.
awesome. Yeah, it's one of those things that looks like it came out from quarantine where it's like people want to talk to each other, like talk to other people, and you can just like, hey, I'm a diehard X fan or X Files fan. Is anyone else an X Files fan? Or like, hey, I'm watching this movie. Does anyone want to watch this movie like via just separately, and we could talk about it later and like what we liked and what we don't like? Because there's lots of things where it's like you're really into something and you want to tell somebody, or like I tell Jessica something really cool, camera related or like video related, and she's on her phone like this. Wow, that's awesome. You don't say. Damn, that's crazy. I mean, I can't get upset because it's like I'm the same way too with some of the things she does. So it's just like, but you know what I'm saying? It's just if there's an app where people can like actually talk to each other and like express their nerdiness or whatever the hell it is they like with each other, then it's pretty cool. I didn't do it again because it's like you have to log in with your name and all these other things, and I'm like,
I
my
did.
iPhone
So
doesn't let me log in. I'm not gonna do it.
all that's happened so far is name, phone number, and it says we've reserved. Oh, I got my name as a handle though, so that's pretty cool. So we reserved my handle for you. We'll text you as soon as your account is ready. So whatever that means. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably talk about that, and I'll discuss what it's like to set it up. It was actually pretty easy to set it up, but
Well,
essentially
if you're
it's
doing it, then I
so
guess
it's
I'll do it.
Whisper without um, everybody just asking what your gender is.
Is anyone a beautiful woman?
Show me Bob's.
Do I sound like a beautiful woman?
So that's it. Sounds a lot just like Periscope, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I was like, I guess that's true. I forgot. Periscope was such a short-lived
Well,
app that
Periscope's
it's just
thing,
like,
like you never really heard much about Periscope. So maybe that's like that was their issue is Periscope kind of ran into some uh just I guess PR issues is the best way to put it of like
Yeah.
like everyone's like, "Oh, that's cool. I guess everybody live streams and if it's interesting you stay." It's kind of like no, there's a
It's like
reason why you have
Twitch.
to have a certain amount of followers on like TikTok before they let you live
Yeah.
stream because it's like nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares, but it also requires a certain type of energy almost to be like a live streamer all the time. Like when you think of like the Paul brothers, they're like the eccentric idiots that are just always on. And they've done a couple of podcasts, but or not podcasts, they've done a couple of like live streams and they're like that for like 20 minutes. And then they're just like, okay, now what? Okay, now what? And then there's other people that like live stream, whether it's like talking to things or talking to people or whatever, or playing games, and they have a different type of formula that makes it work where they still are like really energetic and doing stuff, but it's just like not all the time, I guess. I mean, it's just like Dr. Disrespect. He's very like egocentric and he's still pretty laid back for the most part until something riles him up and then he like,
Mm.
okay, I'm good, guys.
Yeah,
And then he
it's
just
I guess we'll see how good it is, but if this thing takes off, then good news. I got my name as the handle.
I
So
didn't do my name. I did Juicebox Tony.
see, I already have so many different handles. It doesn't matter.
Was another one.
If you can always get your name, you should get your name. It
Yeah, I
makes you it
guess.
makes you seem like you're a cool guy.
Makes me old because I'm the first one on here.
It makes
No
me a
spaces, no
hipster.
underscores, no special characters.
Just my name.
Just
Someone already took
literally
Matt,
just
so
letters.
that's sad.
It's nice.
So I've been hearing a lot of things about like the whole thing behind leap years is technically the year's too long, so we have to have a day or a certain day to reset. Like we add an extra
Yeah.
day because the years are too short or too long or however that works. So a new discovery has been found that scientists actually want to shorten the minute to 59 seconds, according to an article on Popular Mechanics. So,
Why?
some scientists believe that adding or subtracting leap seconds is the best way to regulate time. So their thing is so critics say waiting and applying full seconds does more harm than good. That's the opposition to their suggestion. And Earth's spin varies with a large number of factors. But right now we're spinning very fast. So essentially, when Earth's spinning, it sometimes goes a little bit faster than normal, sometimes a little bit slower than normal. And they're saying you should add or subtract leap seconds. And the most accurate thing is to have a minute be 59 seconds. And I've always thought, who cares?
Yeah, I'm like, if it's just a second, it doesn't matter. But anyways, also when you look at a stopwatch, it goes to 59 and then it goes back to 1. It doesn't just like 59:61. So it's just like in the grand scheme of things, don't really care what. I'm fine with the leap year. I honestly don't even remember when the last
Yeah.
time. I mean, we have them every few years, but it's just like, oh, I remember 2 leap years ago we did it. No, it's just like, oh, cool, we have an extra day. Do you want to
And
get
it's in
McDonald's and do it twice?
February. It's not even like an
It's just
extra
like,
day of summer vacation that everyone gets to experience.
yeah. So what happens to the people that have birthdays on leap year? Did they just
I
like
think
stop existing like Marty McFly and they just like
technically,
turn
I had a
transparent?
friend that was born on a leap year, and or
I had a
born
friend of a
on
friend who
leap
did.
day, and he like they just celebrated the day before, and I think that's what your government document shows.
Yeah,
is
that's
the
what
day
it does.
before.
But it's like I'm leap year wise, I'm only like 8 years old or whatever, but I'm actually like 30 something. So it's just I mean by that logic you'd be like, yeah, I'm literally like that'd be kind of cool, I guess. If you only age on your actual birthday, so it's like leap year kinda. That'd be kind of cool.
Sounds like you're trying to create a loophole for pedophiles, Tony.
That's weird.
You just said I'd be 8, but I'm actually 30.
What is the thing for leap? What is it every 2 years or 4 years?
Every 4 years, February 29th.
Okay, yeah. So it'd just be, it'd be kind of
Yeah,
cool, I
but
guess.
I think so, like, but yeah, how weird would that be if like some weird gene made it so like you literally
Yeah,
only like aged a year every 4 years?
yeah.
Would suck.
That'd be weird. I bet people would be like
Maybe
studying you
that's
like crazy.
maybe that's Yoda's deal. Was Yoda born on leap
Um,
day?
I don't know. I mean, if we it it all just depends on how your body ages on DNA and species and stuff like that. I was reading this article, completely off topic from what we're talking. Well, not really, but uh, read this article a while ago, and it's like why dogs age. Dogs don't exactly age 7 or 8 years or whatever it is from their
Yeah, no,
time frame,
that's
like what
just
we always thought it was.
yeah, that was like a wives' tale or something.
Yeah, and it's like dogs can be or can grow from a puppy to an adult in a year. That's why dogs can have a baby or dogs can have babies right after like close to a year mark, and they can be their own like be parents and stuff, and it can just continue on the chain like that. And it's because their species was designed to age really quick, and then it slows down a lot from what it was. I mean, if you aged from 0 to 18 in a year, the rest of your body wouldn't work like that. It just slows it down. And depending on the type of dog breed, it's like some live for 20 years, like small ones like Mia, giant dogs like a whatever it is, live for like 5 or 10 years, something like that, because they're just too
I
big.
mean, I
So it's just
want like a big dog. Like I think it'd be really cool to have like a bull mastiff,
yeah, something
just
like that.
because
It's like they live for like 8 years,
yeah,
so it's
like
just
they're big and seem scary, but they're supposedly
yeah,
like really chill, like a golden retriever.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it kind of sucks that they're the only thing I don't. The biggest dog I don't want is a Great Dane. That's the only
That
one
would
I
be too
don't.
big.
I like. Well, not even too big because I wouldn't mind getting like the. There are some like a Burmese Mountain Dog. Those are really cool.
Yeah, those are
I
really
I
cool.
don't know
They're
why. I just
soft.
but like Great Danes are just like no.
They're too.
I think they're like
I
too
don't want to say they're
thin and it
too
weirds me
aggressive, but
out.
they're very angular, and they can literally like destroy you.
And I'm gonna
I
take
mean,
that.
other dogs. I mean, I guess any dog can, but it's just like Great Danes when they stand up, they're over 6 feet, and they're like when you look at them, they're very muscly, and it's just like their heads are just like
What do you think is the most embarrassing like medium sized dog to get murdered by? Because like obviously
what is your thing for medium
a
sized
30
dog?
pounds.
Okay.
Because it's like I mean obviously it'd be embarrassing to be
A
killed by like a
corgi.
the, what are you talking about? That's a small dog.
They can be about 30 pounds.
Just because it's fat, Tony. I mean like a legitimate like a medium sized dog like what your lab would have been.
Oh, okay. Well, you said 30 pounds. I mean,
Yes, Tony, Mia
Java was
weighs
90
30 pounds and
pounds.
she's a chihuahua.
Medium sized dog,
Yeah,
then.
so like lab size, like how
Yeah.
Duncan, like my dog Duncan, he was like about 30 pounds. So it's like those. I'm trying to think of like what's an embarrassing one to maybe like a boxer.
Boxer would work, but since I guess you picked that, I can't use it.
Yeah, you have to pick your own boxer dog breed.
A
I think
basset hound. Does a basset hound
that's
count
a
as a
funny
medium
one.
size?
That one does count as a
As a
medium
medium
size.
sized dog for you.
So, look at this thing. Look at that. He's got that killer dick.
It looks very aggressive, like dick wise. I mean, it looks like it was
He's
going.
got
It
that
looks like a
aggressive
great.
dick.
It looks like a Great Dane, but then it just like ran right into a wall for that last picture you
I
showed.
know they're just overstretched pugs, and I want to squeeze its face.
I want a pug. Jessica doesn't want them, and most people I tell that I want a pug, they're like, "Ew, they're gross because of this." I'm like, I like little dogs because they require less work than big dogs.
Imagine this thing just coming at you, and oh yeah,
I picture it killing you would be something like slow, not
that's
like maniacal, but like you really could have avoided this death, but you didn't really think it would kill you.
you.
Like you're walking down the stairs with like a screwdriver, and the dog just like
They look like
and scares you, and you're just whoa.
they look like whatchamacallit, like a Great Dane, but like a midget Great Dane. Like they look like it was supposed to grow like a Great Dane does, but they just stayed
I was
short.
supposed to grow. My skin grew, but my bones didn't.
Basset Hounds have the skin of a Great Dane.
That's disturbing.
How do you feel about Hot Pockets?
I used to love them until I worked or until I was about 22 and I bought them from Target because I used to work at Down East in Salt Lake. It's like off 2100. And I would get like Hot Pockets from there for lunch and then use the microwave at my work to like warm them up. And the guy was like, ew, those are Hot Pockets. You know what they call those, right? And I'm like, pepperoni Hot Pockets? I don't know. I only like those ones. And he's like, no, they're called diarrhea pockets. And I'm just, and now I can't eat them anymore.
Why would you call them that?
I don't know. He's like, every time I eat them, I get diarrhea. And I'm like, so then that means I'm going to get diarrhea because you get it? I don't understand. I don't know. I eat them occasionally. I don't really like eating with the microwave though, because I don't like how soggy they get. I don't like soggy foods that much. But yeah, I really only like pepperoni. I haven't really ventured out too much. I have had the ham and cheese one. It was really gross.
Their
So
Philly
that's why
cheesesteak one that's the shit. That's my shit whenever I get
I'll
them.
have to
I
try
don't eat
it
them as
then.
much because
They're a lot of sodium.
well, I don't care about sodium, Anthony.
Yeah.
I like there's really high in calories for one. To where like I like
Oh yeah.
like a Hot Pocket is my morning protein shake, my morning coffee, and an apple. And I need to eat like 2 or 3 Hot Pockets to get full because it's just
Yeah, like when you eat
it's
them,
just
you
like
have
this
to eat
baby
two.
thing.
They come in
Yeah.
two things. You have to.
So it's like
Yeah, I don't-
like that's my lunch, and so it's like I would rather eat everything I put in my lunchbox is two Hot Pockets worth of calories.
Yeah, I got.
And it's
That's
like,
true.
so I just do like, and I put like carrots, my sandwich, what the fuck else? Like fruit snacks, a dessert thingy, an apple.
Just random munchies.
Yeah,
but like healthy munchies.
so it's like all that would pretty much be 2 Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring that up is Hot Pockets recalled over potential glass and plastic contamination. Guess the flavor that they were contaminated.
Please don't let it be pepperoni.
It's pepperoni.
Bitch.
But good news, it's only in the 12 packs.
Oh, okay. Well, I always buy like the 4 like smaller packs. I
always get the 5 packs because they have 5 packs at
whatever the
Walmart
smallest
for
one is.
$5.
Oh, I'm like, I know they have like the single packs that I used to buy, or like the single ones, and then they have like the box, and I would buy like the smallest box. But that would really suck. You're just like, can't wait to eat my exciting Hot Pockets, and then you take a bite, and then like a shard of glass just goes through the roof of your mouth, and you're like, I don't know if I burn myself or I bleed.
I burned the shit out of. It was the weirdest place in my mouth to burn. So your front teeth, right? Your front 2, right behind the front 2 teeth, there's the gum, right?
Yeah.
And because when you bite into something, you use your front teeth.
Yeah, you use your front teeth.
So we made potatoes in the air fryer, and they were if you have an air fryer, make we just did like cubed potatoes, like hobo potatoes in the air fryer. Make the cubed potatoes in the air fryer. They're so good. But I bit it, like I was like, oh, this is cool. Like it was cool to the touch. So I just bit it, and like the potato, I don't know how this happened. So let me give you a play-by-play. Grab it, pop it in my mouth, and when it's in my mouth, I bite it with my biting teeth, my front teeth.
My biting teeth.
So I bit it, and somehow the skin like where the potato and the skin, it's somehow like I bit it and bit off the skin to where I wasn't eating the outside. The outside skin didn't get stuck to the top is what I'm trying to get to. It was the inside skin that like touches the potato, the nice potatoy flesh. It got stuck. When I tell you, it got stuck right here, like behind my front 2 teeth, like right, not the roof.
I've never burnt myself like that before.
Right where the gum meets the teeth, behind my front teeth. I freaked out, and I like started waving my arms, and I was like, and I started just like pawing
Like a
at it
little
with my
child.
fingers. Yeah. Well,
You're just like
I was like pawing at it with my two pointer fingers. I was like,
Dakota's trying to decipher what you're trying to do.
I went, and you want to know the worst part? While I was eating, I was like, this is weird. I kept like, like you lick your teeth, you
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff. I went like that, and I'm like, that's weird. I reach in my mouth like towards, and I like itch where I burned, and like a piece of skin came off, and I
You
was
probably
like I legitimately burned the piece of skin that's right there, and it came off.
Yeah.
And, like for the next couple days, it was like really smooth, and I kept putting my tongue on it because it felt weird.
you kept putting your tongue on it because you want it to be better than it is, and it's like, I wonder if it's better now. Nope.
It's
What about now?
almost there, but I can still tell. And this was about like last weekend.
The only time I ever really burn myself is when I'm really excited for my coffee, but also what pizza rolls, the Tostinos ones. I buy them because they're relatively cheap, I guess, which is weird because I don't really like Hot Pockets because they're like microwavable. But I'll make Hot Pockets for the girls because it's like a quick, easy lunch type of thing. And I do that, and I put them in the microwave, and then I like.
I really just want to make them in the toaster oven.
I'm like, please don't put them in the toaster.
Why?
They might catch on fire.
I tried French toast today in the air fryer.
How was
Pretty
it?
good.
Did you try your Black Rifle?
Oh yeah, I made that today, and I got the one that's the extra. So I have a caffeine problem because I used to, before I went to the gym in the morning, I would just have a cup of black coffee. And then I went to a cup of black coffee and then some pre-workout. And now I do wake up 20 ounces of water when I first wake up, and then my pre-workout, and then I drive to the gym and I drink water. And then I get home, make the coffee, have a cup of coffee then as I'm getting ready, cup of coffee on the road, and then I have my thermos full of coffee when I'm at work. So, and all this is also why I'm downing water. So by the time I start my day at 10, I've already had like 60 ounces of water.
I've already
and like
had 6
4
coffee
cups
shits.
of coffee, and my pre-workout the mornings I go to the gym. So like for coffee to hit me now, I'm like Black Rifle makes it's like double the caffeine in their coffee, and it's really good.
I haven't tried that one. I've had their Murdered Out one. It's really good. It's dark roast, or it's like beyond dark roast. And I've had
the roast.
Jessica
is so
got me the
dark,
silencer.
It has to watch what neighborhoods it goes into.
Neighbors have to watch what it goes into.
They have to monitor what neighborhoods buy it.
And I had the Murdered Out one. I've had I'm drinking one. It's like Silencer Smooth or something like. It's like a medium roast.
Yeah. I wanted to.
And I have another one too, and it's just like
they're surprisingly cheap at Shields. They're cheaper than they are at like on like Amazon or something. Because for the longest time, I tried to buy it from BlackRifle.com, but they were sold out through the. Every time they go on Joe Rogan, all their stuff gets sold
their
out.
thing just flies off the shelf. I know.
Yeah,
it's just
I tried to buy it as well as everyone else did after they went on Joe Rogan.
It's so good. I mean, I always like rave about how it is seriously like the best damn cup of coffee. Like I don't put a lot of creamer in my coffee. I'm trying to like describe.
Dakota had to put extra creamer in it because she's like, I forgot what real coffee tastes like. Blah 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 blah.
I guess between the color of me and you is what like I want my coffee color to be, because I don't like it super sweet, but I can't have just black coffee. I
had to look at my skin color to get
I'm trying to like get an accurate description. It's like
I'd say like I'd go our skin color on a day when I want more cream. But like randomly it varies day to day. It's like some days I really crave black coffee, and then other days I want coffee that looks like me, and then some days it's somewhere in between.
Yeah, because it was just like I was afraid because I buy like the K-Pots from Costco, and that one requires a little bit more cream in it to like make it taste better, because their coffee kind of tastes like shit. But like that Black Rifle, I had the Murdered Out just like off the thing. I was like, my God, this is so good.
because it's like it tastes like coffee, but it's not bitter like if you get like Folgers or
Yeah, it doesn't.
like the Kirkland brand, it
I
tastes
don't know if
bitter.
it's the way the roast and stuff like that. And I found out that I like darker roasts because lighter roasts, I they're very acidic, and I don't like it because it tastes like hot soy sauce. And I looked at it, and it's like it's almost like the same way to make soy sauce as where they make like coffee, and I'm just like,
But you
I'm
do get
literally
less
drinking hot soy
caffeine,
sauce.
is why I steer away from dark roasts. Unless you're talking like cold brew, then that's like two to
Oh yeah,
three
no,
times the amount of caffeine in a standard
I
cup of
don't
coffee.
mind. I would prefer drinking cold brew, but I don't have the patience, and I don't have the right setup because you have to
It's
like filter it so
confusing.
you don't get.
They make things that you can buy, but it takes an astounding amount of coffee to make cold brew. So, like,
Yeah,
if you
it
make
just
cold brew, I wouldn't use Black Rifle coffee because I think my 16 ounce, like, or I think their bags are 12 ounce. So, like, a regular coffee bag, it was like 12, $13,
yeah.
which sounds like a lot. They're made in the U. I've been trying to make a more concerted effort about buying things that are American made and have like a mission statement that
Yeah, there's something
benefits
that I drive with.
Americans.
Yeah.
So it's like I want a My Pillow because the guy started his company here, only employs U.S. citizens, and I cannot tell you how long I have seen his commercials to where people must be buying these pillows because
People have to be buying
he's
them.
been on
Yeah.
infomercials for like a solid almost decade.
He's been out for like a decade. He's been, yeah, I remember seeing him in Brigham, and I don't remember the last time I went to the Brigham Walmart.
So it's like he must be doing this. So I kind of want one of them, but I've been trying to make more of a. And then they have really cool mugs too, but
I have one
that's
of them. I have
they're
two
just
actually, but
they're they're stupid expensive, and I didn't want it.
they are.
I already had to buy boots for work, and I was like, I don't
Yeah.
want to spend that
No,
much right
it's just,
now.
yeah.
But they have this pumpkin one that I wanted to get, and it's called
Oh, the
their
pumpkin.
basic batch.
There you go. I'm like, it's the pumpkin badger bait. Yeah, I wanted to try because it was on sale. And that, like Matt said, if you guys don't know, quick recap: Black Rifle, they're awesome coffee. They're Utah. They're veteran owned and operated. They hire pretty much anybody, but they do look for service background people. All the money, like a lot of their proceeds that they make, go towards wounded veterans and other stuff like that. During the beginning of the pandemic, they would ship coffee out to different precincts that were dealing with like the surges of police violence and stuff like that. And also they were sending them back east to New York in that area when the
For the
doctors were
first
working
responders.
24/7. And it's just like they don't do it for publicity. They don't tell people they're doing it. They just ship it out. And then people are like, did we order 4 tons of coffee? Because they're just like, nope, do with it as you wish. Keep on trucking, guys. This is the
And
best we can do.
his story was super fascinating. Like
Oh yeah.
he jerry rigged his Humvee when he was in Iraq so he could grind his own coffee in his Humvee and brew his coffee anywhere. So he essentially made a coffee truck
Yeah,
in
he made this
Iraq.
coffee mobile, and it was just like,
He
yeah, and
could
it
give
just,
everybody in his squad coffee.
yeah,
It's
it's just
just so
crazy. Yeah,
random.
it was just, I mean,
It's like
yeah, when you
it's
come out of
such
the
a funny
military, you
thing.
either drink a lot of coffee, or you smoke cigarettes. Those are
It's
the only,
yeah,
the
it's such a
only real things.
it's such a real funny thing to have like a Marine be such a nerd about coffee. That's just
Yeah,
like
it was just,
that's the
yeah, I
funniest
follow them
thing about it.
on YouTube, and they do like lots of funny videos and stuff like that. So it's just,
So if you
and they
can,
do have like this coffee. I mean, they went. I don't know where they got it done, but they have this big coffee mobile truck. It's pretty tight. So
yeah, I want to see that. But if you guys can buy Black Rifle coffee,
yeah,
it is. The price tag seems like it's a lot, but my
it is a
God, it's
lot, but it's honestly like two
I need to
bucks
get a
more than what
coffee.
a
I need to get a
normal thing
coffee
would.
grinder so that way I can get their whole bean and just grind it myself.
Yeah, that's what I want next
But
because
the
it's just
problem is
like,
that
yeah,
I have to. It's because it's supposed to be better if you grind the beans
yeah, it's
yourself.
better because
But
it's fresh. It's as there was like this coffee machine that Lou on Unbox Therapy was doing, and it's like a Keurig. It's like this big by like this. It's a little bit wider, but the top of it, it's like 4 inches deep or something like that. But you pour like coffee beans in it, just like whole beans, and then you pick whatever you want to make with a little touch thing, and it grinds the coffee beans for you that day instead of
I
just like
I used one of those at a gas station
and then do it.
at work, and it was just like that. So it's like a
Yeah,
Keurig, but somehow fresher because
yeah,
it
and I'm just
grinds the
like,
beans as you want it.
yeah, I was just like, oh my god, yeah, I want one, but it's just like,
Coffee was amazing, But
Yeah, because I use an AeroPress for mine, which is amazing. I tried using like that K-Pod reusable thing that sucked, but it was just
ours
I
is
use
nice
an
because we have
AeroPress.
like a $120 or $150 coffee maker that it has like the mesh reusable basket, so we don't have to use coffee filters. So like
That'd be nice.
it's a just a drip coffee maker,
Yeah.
but I've never minded drip, and other ways of making coffee intimidate me.
Yeah, there's so many different ways. I mean, like I was just gonna buy like that French press thing where the French press or like the cure not the Keurig, the Chemex. It looks like a big beaker type of bottle where you
Yeah,
just
the
do like a
Breaking Bad
pour over
method.
on it. So it just
Those weird me out though because I feel like they don't work because you're just like you just like put a filter in the thing and then you just like pour water. I'm like, I feel like you're not getting all of the coffee. I mean, I
yeah, I
don't
don't
know, but I'm like,
yeah.
I
I'm
feel
like
like
I
that
just
doesn't.
like the AeroPress. It's literally just like scoop, put water, and then or you invert it, which I do, and it's like you invert it and then you wait a minute and then done.
I need to get back into different ways to make coffee. But have you heard of James Harden's latest ploy?
His latest what?
His latest ploy.
No, what is he doing this time?
So, not only did he get fat to leave Houston, but now he's back to being skinny.
How did that happen?
This is essentially in about a week, like a little
Did
bit
you?
over a week. You can see he's still got a little bit of chub, but when
Yeah,
you
but how did
consider
he lose
what he
that much
looked
that
like
fast? I
here,
mean, it's just
oh my
like,
god, he was so thick. He
yeah,
was
it's just
so
like
thick.
everyone was making fun. I mean, I think that thing on Instagram where the announcer
That
was
was
like,
so funny. He's like
he
he definitely
definitely had a
had a.
meal before the game. I just, I
Oh
like
my
James Harden.
god.
He is a great player, and he's not that he's like a sleeper player, but it's just like he doesn't
He's
have the right plus one with him to
well.
help him.
He never. To me, it's like he's
And he didn't play defense for the longest time.
well. He really just didn't make the shots when it counted. They should have beat the Warriors,
Yeah.
but they lost to the Warriors. That I think it was like 2017 is when they came close to getting to the finals. But then they lost to the Warriors, and then the Warriors went on to beat the Cavs. I think that was the first year where the Cavs were like Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving were hurt, so they beat the Cavs, and like with Westbrook, they didn't go. They lost in like the second round.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of. I understand when people are like he is a good player, but the money they pay him, he needs to
Yeah,
be
no, he needs to be better for
he
sure. I'm
needs to
not, yeah,
hit his
like
shots for
he's,
$1 million a
yeah,
game.
yeah, because he's like been their star player, and they're talking about all the things that like he ran everything behind the closed doors that people didn't know about, and it was just like he called the practice times. He said when it was time to stop, and it was just like, okay, everyone
He
that's
only
not
called
James
because he had to
Harden,
go eat.
you need to be here at this time. James, we would appreciate it if you would be here between at least. He need to play for at least 30 minutes.
You at least need to show your face
Yeah,
here, man. At least fake and say, "Oh, I'm hurting. I'm just getting a massage today."
yeah. It just like he reminds me of Will Ferrell and what was that ice dancing one they were doing?
Oh, Blades of Glory.
Yeah, he reminds me of Will Ferrell on Blades of Glory, where he's just like a fat piece of shit, and he's like still awesome, but he's still riding the gravy train of when he was awesome.
Yeah,
I just want to know how he lost. He literally looks like he lost like 20 pounds. And
yeah.
I mean,
It's
he just
and
today's
it
his
was in
first
it was in
game.
the span of just maybe a little over a week.
Yeah, today's his first game actually playing again. I mean, he's playing as a Nets fan or as a Nets player now. It's not like
I know, and I mean that's a crazy good team. KD looks like he bounced back pretty great from that injury, from that
yeah.
Achilles tear.
Yeah, have you
So
seen their jerseys? They look so nice.
I just would hate to live in New York right now.
Rent's probably really cheap.
Well, I mean, he makes like $1 million a game, but like their taxes are just so crazy, and everything's locked up down there. I went out for the first time in since March yesterday because Scott got married, as you know.
Yeah.
So, like that was the first time I've been out anywhere since March, and it was very weird. But at the same time, when me and Dakota went to Legend Sports Pub, and I have to say, I missed going places. Like it was like
Yes.
this really weird thing of like I haven't been anywhere unless it's like I went to a mall once because I had to get like something for my phone or something. Like I had to go to the T-Mobile store, and I just went directly to the T-Mobile store, directly back to my car. And it's like other than going to like the store, like Smith's and the gym in the early morning when no one else is there, I haven't been anywhere. And I've decided that I'm like I can't not go places anymore because it was so strange because I've been the same like everybody just stay home.
Yeah.
Everybody stay home. But now it's like nobody else is staying home and it's been almost a year. And I'm like, I just cannot not do any. It's driving me crazy to where it's like, I don't want to like go somewhere every day, but it's like, I need to start going places because I'm like, this is just so. I mean, I wear a mask still, but I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
you're still
just
doing what
so
you can, but yeah,
boring.
it just, I know I miss that too. I miss going to the mall, and like I haven't been in the mall in over a year,
Yeah.
but like going to the mall and like going to Chick-fil-A or meeting somewhere at Chick. Like last time I literally went out to eat somewhere was on your birthday when we went to that cheesesteak place,
Yeah.
and but now, yeah, it's just everyone's doing it, so it's just like, well, I
Mm-hmm.
guess we're just gonna never end our first wave because everyone's just gonna get
Well,
sick.
and that's of like, it's been about a year and I can't keep being like everybody's still. I'm like,
Oh
you know
yeah,
what? Whatever, man. I'm not like it's not like and it's not like people are going to start listening a year in as opposed to when it
yeah,
started. So it's like, but so that was definitely very
yeah.
interesting.
I
But
don't.
I couldn't imagine like moving somewhere that was free and open like Texas, and then going to New York where everything's like just locked
Yeah,
down.
everything was just like shut down. Yeah, I don't. I feel bad for those people because it's. I mean, New York is literally they don't have real estate.
Well, and their stories are sad of like business owners like that lady in Los Angeles that she spent all this money opening outdoor dining for the governor to um, tell her she can't open up, but they approved craft or movie production on that same street.
Yeah,
So it was like that's just so dirty. That's so
yeah. Like
mean.
you
Like
need to set up some kind of like you need to give me reasons why. You can't just say no because I'm gonna open anyways then because there's no reason why. That's where the whole problem is. Like there's no reason why that's deemed essential when
well,
I'm
and
more essential.
that's why I've never been a fan of the government closing any businesses because it's like you can't say it's not essential. You just can't because the it's the whole argument of like then grocery store like that's like saying mom and pop grocery stores can't be open but
Yeah,
Walmart can. That doesn't make any sense because it's like okay, well this is one lady who owns one store but you closed her down and opened a movie production who hired a catering company
yeah.
to
It's
where it's
just
like rather than say not even saying but like rather than the movie company going to that lady to pay her to cater to them for their craft food tables, they went with some catering company, and it's like I couldn't imagine going from a city that like is open with COVID to like New York or LA where it's like oh yeah they're going into to another lockdown,
yeah. I
and it's
mean,
like
yeah. The
oh that
UK
would
is on their
suck.
third lockdown or something like that, and it's just like,
Even
uh,
India is on another lockdown because apparently now India might have a new strain, and it's like, oh my god.
yeah. It's just like again, we wouldn't have to deal with all these trains if you guys were just staying home.
Well,
I understand with
that's
like
the hard part.
the countries like that are going to be affected differently because when you see pictures of India, honestly, India looks exactly like the pictures. It's very jumbled together places and like it's a very populated country with it's also very sparse because like the big empty plains and stuff like that. But it's just like they there's so many people that live together, live in the same house, live in the same like meet in like the market and stuff every day. When you see videos or movies, they're like in the markets and moving. That's their livelihood. They don't have mom or they don't have Walmarts like we do. They have
Yeah.
mom and pop stores, and that's like they eat off of like little food cars. That's how they make. I mean, they make food at home, but they also have food carts and stuff like that. And it's
It's
just
true.
like,
I've seen 90 Day Fiance the other way, and one of them, one of the couples is in India
yeah,
place,
and
and
it's just like,
it looks like it would be fun to visit for a day.
oh, it would be. I want to
Couldn't
go there to.
imagine.
I want
Couldn't
to go there
imagine
for the
though.
Holly Festival just to photograph it. That's all. That's the thing about, but it's just like there's just so many people, and if they
That's
get
the
sick, that
problem.
whole country is gonna get sick, and they're gonna be one of the ones that have like the most deaths, just
Well, and it's
because.
like Spain or Italy with multi generational households.
Yeah, and it's just yeah. So it's just like
But
yeah,
yeah,
sucks for them.
so good luck to him out in Brooklyn. We'll see how well that goes. But to get into what we're going to talk about now that we've talked about current events, so we have the idiot who lost his Bitcoin passcode, a robot mask, and the Meg Shark.
Yes.
So I'm not too much of a Bitcoin enthusiast, but I have been known to dabble in the cryptocurrencies. Have you ever put any interest in like putting any kind of money into cryptocurrencies, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin?
Yeah, there's so many. Yes. At first, when it like first started, because I thought that I mean that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's gonna go in the future. I just don't exactly know how that's. But anyways, yes, but I jumped out right after Bitcoin left. Like when Bitcoin was at like the high craze, like what was that, 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was. Where it's like
Oh,
that high school
it's
kid like,
skyrocketed past that.
oh yeah, no, but like that high school kid was like, instead of using the money I was gonna go to college with, I put it in Bitcoin and I became a millionaire overnight. And then I took everything out that kid, and then it like was worth nothing. And people are just like, Bitcoin is dead, and everyone that wasted their money and stuff like that. And it was just a lost cause. And then a few years ago, I found out that our family friend, Cheeto, Benito's uncle, I guess he bought Bitcoin, or he bought Bitcoins when they were like hella cheap, and he sold one of them, and him and his whole family went on vacation for like a month. And mom was like, do you know what a Bitcoin is? Because he sold one. And I was like, oh my god, they're worth that much. But it's just, as of recently, I mean, you talked about doing it, and I was like, I might try to do that too. And like,
I did it just for shits and giggles. So
yeah,
I have $5 in each. So I have five in Bitcoin, five in Dogecoin after Elon tweeted about it, and five in Ethereum. So the Bitcoin's obviously the kingpin. Ethereum's like the little brother, and then Dogecoin is just a joke coin. It has the Doge meme,
yeah.
or the so I bought that because I like the meme. And that I bought for like it was worth less than a penny, and now it's worth about a penny. So it was worth like a tenth of a
Yeah.
penny, I should say, and now it's worth a penny.
So it went from expired coupon. If you have enough, you might make a cent, and
Well,
now it's worth
with
one
five
penny.
dollars, I mean, I made $20 on it.
Yeah.
So it's like, but then like my Bitcoin and Ethereum, I only put $5 in, just so it's just a fun thing. So like I'm in for 15, but I have $32
Yeah.
in total in all of them, and I'm just like, I'm never gonna sell it just because it's $15. I spend things on stupider.
Yeah. I spent
I
more
spend
than
my
that
money
today
on
on dumb
stupider
shit.
things
So
all the
it's
time. But there's a story in the news about this guy. What was his name again?
Stefan something.
Stefan Thomas had 7,002 Bitcoin stored on a secure hand drive, or secure hand drive, a secure hard drive. I don't have my contacts in. And when I put my glasses on, I look like an alien because of the monitors.
Yes, I do look like an alien with my monitor. Or yeah,
because it just like reflects in. But like
yeah. I don't.
mine are worse than yours. I don't know why. Probably because my monitors are a lot bigger and I'm a lot closer. But when I put them in,
Probably.
I do the anime thing where it looks like I'm hacking into something, and I'm like,
I either say I'm in.
I'm in. It's So this guy somehow lost the single most important password in his life. I don't understand how he knows bitcoins are going to be worth something one day because he had the wherewithal to
Yeah.
encode it, secure it, put it on a separate hard drive. And he forgot the password to the hard drive. I don't like I understand like people do
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4?
like how Apple does the Apple will generate a passcode for
Yeah.
you, and it's like a 30-digit or 32-digit passcode with letters, numbers, symbols, those
Yeah.
kinds of
Whatever you
things.
want it to be
Exactly,
more
but it's
secure.
like,
Yeah.
how do you not also write that down? Because technology fails.
Yeah. It's just. I mean, I have the only password that's like really long and stupid is my Apple password. That's just because it has my things on it. But yeah, I don't use the Apple password thing, the face password,
Mm.
like you said. I use one pass or whatever it is, and it just does the same thing. I just hit copy and then I paste it onto whatever it is I'm doing, and then I send the same password to Jessica just in case I lose my phone or if my phone breaks and I need to log back into my iCloud account. I have
Yeah.
that
Well,
information, but it's like
it's like for me, I look at it because I have this, but I use the Apple one where it's because it saves everything securely on the phone. It's not smart purely because like you're saying, like you said, if you lose your phone, oops.
yeah. I mean, I
But
have like
if you have the app, then you can just log into the app and it's fine.
yeah, because I have the app, and then it also like it uses my face to open it, but there's also like a master password. But
Yeah.
I know that the master password is I know what that is, and it's just like
Yeah, but so like my question to this guy is, you know, it's important enough to put it
yeah,
to encrypt it, secure it, put it on a separate hard drive so it's not constantly plugged into something so it can't be stolen. However, you forgot the password. So 7,002 bitcoins is worth $220 million
yeah,
right
that's
now.
just so much, and it's just like the one thing I don't understand about Bitcoin, besides it wildly fluctuates, it's just like concerning to me, but also how do you know when there's enough without blowing up the money worth it's virtually nothing because we have a quadrillion dollars in Bitcoin. So
So
they're worth
you
nothing.
have to mine it is the thing,
Well,
and
how do
you
you
can
mine
only
it?
it's set to stop after a certain amount of time. So much like the dollar being tied to gold, this is the same concept. But in Bitcoin makes sense in terms that it's not tied to a government and it's not traceable. So
Yeah.
but the only bad thing is that means you could do bad things with it.
Yeah.
However, you could do bad things with the US dollar. As
Yeah.
long as it's
People do
not
the same
fake,
thing with the dollar too. So it's
as
not
long
a
as it's not fake, who cares? So
yeah.
it's like, um, so that argument I don't really buy too much into is because it's like, okay, well, people buy
Yeah. Like
heroin,
people have been
people buy slaves still with American money.
yeah, I
so
don't under yeah, I just didn't
so
understand how that
there's
works. It's just like okay,
there's
because
a certain amount that's able to be mined, and people set up mining rigs. So it's like you'll see,
well, how do you
like
mine it? Like does it just
you install
how
a
do you
so
virtually dig?
you
Just
have to download a person with the pickaxe, and then they go to work. Hi ho, hi ho. It's they essentially do a computer without a monitor. So you get the computer, get your cards that you need, so like graphics cards for the computing, and then you really just need a room that is so it's not going to overheat. So you'd put it like against a wall with nothing around it because that bitch is gonna get hot. There was this guy on TikTok who showed his rig, and he has six 3070s. For so he has six RTX 3070s, like I think four 1200-watt power supplies to power those bitches, and like maybe 8 fans just around the case, and he just doesn't put a cover on it, so it's like the outer it's like the outer bracket of the case, so it looks like a bracket, and then just like the graphics cards, he made his own way so they can all click in, and then he just downloaded a driver to it. So he connected a monitor to download a driver to it, see what he's doing there, and then he just flips it on, and it automatically kicks in to start mining as soon as it's on, and then whatever it mines, it keeps into a secure, like a secure hard drive as well. So that's the. I'm not too sure about like exactly how
Yeah,
it
no, I
comes
just
from
didn't. Yeah, I'm like,
nothing.
I don't.
I
Yeah, because it's
assume
just
it's just
like,
coding. I
and
assume
like they
like
have to.
that's the only thing I could assume is it runs code faster than a human could type. So it would
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming it does. It's
code
just
until it essentially comes up with enough code to
yeah, until
be
it finds the
ex-
thing for Bitcoin and then it gives it to you. I just
until it like defines Bitcoin's code, and then
yeah,
that's what I assume.
yeah. That's I don't because it was just
So
people
yeah,
are talking about it and stuff like that, and they're saying it's like,
but it's
well, you
expensive to
should have
mine.
bought it last year because it was 13,000, but now it's up to 31. People I follow online are like, I'm so happy I bit the bullet and paid 13,000 yes last year for it, and it's just how many people have $13,000 where you can
All
just
these nerdy techies.
willy nilly to just drop it on this? It's one of
Well,
those the
the
rich
only
get
people that
richer,
really
but it's
bought
just
into it at first, if you didn't know somebody who knew somebody of how to get it, you would either have to go through because people are like, "Oh man, can you believe this was once like a penny for a
yeah,
Bitcoin?" And it's like, well, yeah, but you had to know somebody who knew somebody to sell it to you for that price, or you had to go through some shady background dark web deal.
yeah. There's all these
So
weird things, and it's just I know that story. Jessica had this friend at her last job that had a Bitcoin or two or half of a coin. I don't exactly know if you can break them, but
you can.
he had like less than five, and he put them on a hard drive, but he lost the hard drive, and that's when they were selling for like 5 grand or something like that. And he was like, "I need to find my effing Bitcoin hard drive. I don't know where it went. Don't exactly know if he found it or not." But it was just like,
It would be the greatest thing to find it now.
yeah, you're like, "Oh, dude, I found it." Yeah, it's just
I mean, it
I
might be
know.
broken after all these years if it's not plugged in,
Yeah. So
but yeah. So the way it breaks down is just like a picture it being a dollar. It's a dollar that's not traceable,
yeah.
and it's not tied to any government. So the market dictates its price, which is why people don't like it because it's volatile. Whereas like the U.S. dollar is the U.S.
Yeah,
dollar
that's what
until
it's
we
just like.
fault on a payment to like if like say like if we tell China, you know what, we're just not going to pay back any of your debts, tough luck, then that would hurt our credit. So
Yeah,
then the dollar would be worth less in the global economy. So Bitcoin's the same thing. So a picture it
gotcha.
being a dollar, you can own like you can have a penny, you can have a nickel, you can have a quarter, break it up however you want. But if you a dollar's a dollar no matter what. So we have to use so you use whatever currency you're in to pay for the Bitcoin. But Bitcoin for the most part just shows in US dollars. So if 8 pesos makes a dollar,
Yeah,
then you need an a fuck ton of pesos to buy a full
yeah.
Bitcoin. So that's just how like so
Okay, yeah. I was just
that's how it
yeah.
breaks down for
That's one
that.
thing I'm afraid of because it's like, okay, if I somehow convince Jessica to like remortgage the house to get equity out, and then we spent all of our equity on one Bitcoin, and then a day later it crashes, and it's like, well, I put 31,000 into it, and now my Bitcoin is worth $50
And that's the hard part
because that's what
about
happened last time.
Bitcoin.
They
Yeah.
were worth a lot of. I mean, they weren't worth as much now, but it was worth a lot. And then it crashed, and then everyone's like, Bitcoin was a disaster. This is the reason why we're not going to go to cryptocurrency and
Yeah,
this and
everyone
this. And it's
always
just
says that. And it's like people really should be afraid that we're no longer on the the gold currency to where
yeah.
it's like
I'm like
our money's no longer backed by gold. People should be more afraid of that.
yeah. It's just like eventually things will be going to cryptocurrency because that's just the way things are.
And that's the way a lot of
But
people look at it is
I'm kind of afraid of that day
that.
too, unless there's different. If the U.S. has their own type of not big, I mean, like some kind of cryptocurrency, and then China has one, and other countries kind of have that too. Because if we're under one unified thing, that's very Big Brother 1984 ish to
That's fair.
me. But also, it doesn't matter if it's untraceable. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the idea of being tracked, but at the same time, I don't mind. Like,
No, I don't. I mean, it's
like,
not like I'm buying shady
like
stuff, but it's just
exactly. It's
like
so it's like the not tracking thing
because
is
honestly, you
very
can track
weird.
if you those little random numbers that are on your paper on your dollar bill
Yeah,
that it the FBI looks at it. I
yeah.
mean, they
So
know
it's
where it's
like,
going, and especially that website where'sthisbin.com or whatever, where's my bill been or whatever. It
yeah,
like it shows you where your bill has been in its life before it came to you. So it's not
it's
like
always a stripper's ass crack.
I'm
Always.
okay with that as long as it's a lady stripper.
You don't you don't get to choose.
Man,
So what's the most amount of money you would spend on a mask? Since everywhere has a mask mandate, unless you're a dick and don't wear one in a store that obviously has it posted, you selfish fuck.
I see people like that at Smith's and they drive me insane. What I have been doing though is I've been coughing a lot around them.
That's hilarious.
I like, and it's always the same type of person. It's like the southern Utah before you get to Moab, where they're like cowboys and those people. And they would always walk in. I'm just, I can't break this cold, Jess. What did you say? Want me to get right by them? And I don't like put my hand up. I just like literally like cough in their direction. They're just, the fuck, you're gonna get that on me. But
You're gonna give me the vid.
but right now the max I paid is $20 on a mask. And those are the ones that's including like when COVID first started and like everything was selling out for masks and stuff. But right now I'm buying some from Stance. They make socks and underwear and stuff like that. But they recently got into the mask game and they're so nice. So they're about 20-ish bucks and I love their masks. What about you?
What would you say? So I've only used disposable ones because we get them from our work, and I only have to wear them when I'm going into the building or if I'm going into a Smith's or something real quick. And I've never put much thought into having like a separate mask, and it would be very nice, but yeah, I've just never. I would get a Stance one if I ever got one, just because
They have Wu Tang
they're
Clan ones now.
they what?
They have Wu Tang Clan.
That's hilarious. I want to get one. So Scott was getting married, and while like the everyone was wearing masks until like the ceremony started. Then all the people in the wedding party took their masks off because pictures. And yeah, I'm not gonna remember my wedding day as everyone wearing masks. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So like rightfully, they're up there away from everybody, and they didn't have masks on. And but I thought it so like while they were walking about before and after the ceremony, they had like different masks on, like they just all had their own masks. And I thought an idea: you should take a picture of your face, cut it off right here, and make your own mask design,
Like
and
those
get your own face as your face mask.
you'd be like one of those Lay's how Lay's has that smile bag of chips.
Yeah,
It'd be like that.
it'd be just like that, or like the where the beach shirts that have like the either
That
the
have the
Jack,
6-pack.
yeah, the Jack dude or the chick in the bikini.
Yeah.
It would be like that.
I wonder how much that would cost. I guess it depends on where you get it screen printed.
I'm not
But
sure. I'm not sure
I don't know. There's a
where you
couple.
can
There's like
get that
some
kind of stuff.
really weird. Since I mean CES was this week or it's going on now, and it's like the year of the masks, and everyone's trying to get top of the line. But like I told you and Marco and Ashley, there was like that one that Lou did from Unbox Therapy where it was like he looked like the little space people in Among Us.
Oh
And there's
yeah,
these other ones that were like on Indiegogo or Kickstarter or something like that, where they were like it's like a Daft Punk type of mask. It looks pretty cool,
that would be
but
pretty cool.
I would never like. It's cool, but then you get it and it's just like, this is weird. I would never wear it outside because it just it looks like a costume, like a Halloween costume, and it's just I don't know. I'll stick with my $20 stance masks.
So the reason I ask what your highest price point was is because the computer company Razer, they do like what
They do gaming
yeah,
PC
like
parts.
gaming PC parts, as far as like fans, motherboards, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and then keyboards, mouse, monitors. They do all that kind of stuff. They came out with their own mask called Project Hazel, and this thing looks like a I I honestly don't even know. It looks like the Phantom of the Opera's mask, but instead of covering half your face from a profile view, it covers it. It covers it hamburger, not hot dog. So that's the best way
Yeah,
to phrase it.
I did see it. I don't know what the price is. I don't know if it's actually going to production or if it's one of those like prototype models that this is what we could do. Do you guys like it? Do you
As
like
far as
it?
I've seen, they haven't announced the
But
price for
like,
it.
yeah, I like it in black. If you guys don't know, Razor's colors are black and green, like an electric, kind of like a Kawasaki Venom green. It looks just like a painting mask, like the N95 respirator ones that like you use while painting and stuff, or doing some kind of weird laying insulation in the house type of shit. But as if it, I would get it if it prevented my goggle or my glasses from fogging up.
My
That's
eye
the biggest
goggles.
problem I'm having right now. I mean, I wear contacts when I'm outside for the most part because I hate the fog, but it's just if you
I
could
know the
really
kind of
prevent it.
people that would buy these to wear them is the problem. That's my biggest
Yeah.
problem with this. Is
I mean, it
there's
looks
a
dorky,
it
but it's
looks
just like,
very dorky. The only reason it looks dorky is because they did the RGB.
yeah. But that's
So
their thing. They make like
yeah, but the problem
RGB
is
things.
it looks dorky because you're gonna have a rainbow on your face. That's a mask. But the nice thing is, it's not. Have you seen those masks that have like the stupid, like events on them?
Oh yeah.
Like the cloth ones, but have like a look. It's just a vent, so you can breathe better. Hey, fuck face. That's the point of the mask,
Yeah,
is so
like
you
that's what
don't.
it yeah.
It's so frustrating. But anyway, so it looks like it has those, but those are actually purifiers. So the mask plugs in much like AirPods do into the AirPod case. So it works actively with the filters to constantly. It's supposed to be like silent. You don't notice. Um,
Prefer
but
Darth Vader.
you're not going to sound like Darth Vader. But then it pushes the CO2 out and then filters the air that's coming in, and it's just as effective as the N95, which is
You just passed out
actually
because
pretty
they
awesome.
completely forget about the carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
You're just at Walmart.
They have so it's like a it it's like some kind of weird kink thing, to be honest. They look like goggles when they're in the charging case.
Yeah, it's like
But
I don't.
the problem is if you don't charge it, then
It doesn't
your
work.
mask
You'll
doesn't
kill
work.
yourself, I guess, because
Exactly.
the vents won't open. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's. It'd be cool if it was like $50, but something like that probably be at least 250 with all
I'm
the
gonna
random
guess,
shit
yeah.
that it can do in there. But it's
But
just
so some of the key things are like it has a low light mode. So I guess if you're wearing it at night and you don't want, you can just turn the light off. Fuck face. It
yeah,
doesn't
it's just
need to be rainbow. What's
yeah.
the
I'm like I
problem
wouldn't.
here?
That's the thing. I'm like I wouldn't. I would get it if it was just black and green. I don't want like my face to be different colors or like have an
Yeah.
avatar. It's like
And
I can change it.
that's
It's
why to
just
me it's like I know the kind of person that's going to get that.
yeah.
The kind of person who gets this is the where's my hug guy.
Hmm.
So
So I'm just
it's like it's not just put you don't need such a fancy thing. If you're that worried about COVID, just buy an N95 for $10. Just
yeah.
buy it. They make some that I want that don't have the stupid things that you put over your head. They have the little loops on them. It's a
That's
style
not
of
so bad. Yeah.
N95. So it's like not as secure as the one that like you pull like a bandana
Like
on
the
your
big
head.
industrial ones. Yeah.
Yeah, but they have like the loops on them. I see people wear them, and I want to ask where they get them because the N95 is
But
supposed to
they're
be the best one
within,
to get.
I don't want to get within 6 feet because then they'll run away from me. So, and they can't hear from 6 feet.
They
And I can't read their
startle
lips
easily. It's
because if
like
there's a mask over their face.
a
Yeah, I don't.
flicking a light towards a cockroach.
Yeah,
They just scatter.
I really like my stance ones. I mean, they're not N95 or have any kind of like Surgeon's General approval thing on
Yeah,
it, but it's there's two layers of fabric, like they're reversible, and it's like I went like this with my mask on, and I was like blowing into my hand, and I couldn't feel the air come through it. I mean,
It's all just so confusing
I
because
don't know.
the science behind all of it has just been so bungled
The
that like
science is so vague,
you
and
don't
everything
know
changes
what
from
to
day to
believe
day.
anymore because
So it's
people are
just
like,
like,
well, people say like, well, cloth masks don't work. Well, they actually kind of
oh,
work. Never mind, don't buy all the masks because doctors need them, so they don't work. Now they do work. You should at least put something over your face. You know what? 6 feet.
yeah, it's just we don't
That's
know 6 feet. Yeah, it's
exactly
just
that. Like
that's
it all
just
came down to just stay 6 feet.
yeah, it's just like just wear the mask.
Just
If
don't
you're
cough in
sick,
each
stay
other's
home.
mouths, please.
It's really not that difficult, and it's just like the masks do work. I don't know. I don't exactly know how effective it is, but I mean, if you're outside of like space,
Yeah,
sun, stuff
my
like
thing
that, you don't
is
have to
it
worry about
can
it.
do nothing if you're walking by somebody and you cough.
Yeah,
There's no way that something that's. I mean, we're not saying like a bandana or some stupid shit, like when people wear bandanas or the neck gaiters. Oh
yeah.
my god, that I don't know why it bugs me, but it just bug. It's like that doesn't do anything. It's
I don't
like you
know what.
might as well not wear anything.
Yeah, it's just like the people at my work would wear neck gaiters, but you're like this,
Well, the
which
thing,
I guess is fine, but they chew on it.
but
They like,
the thing
yum,
that
yum, yum,
the
yum.
science said about neck gaiters is the mesh. When you talk through the mesh, or if it well, I guess like when you're talking through the mesh, it actually aerosols your spit because
Yeah,
when you talk you spit. It's just what happens. So it's but with the neck gaiter, the mesh aerosols spit. That's why you shouldn't have a mesh mask.
yeah. So
And
it's just
it's
I
like
don't.
it just drives me. But this thing is actually pretty high tech in the sense that so they have the replaceable filters. They just twist and they pop off, and then you put the new ones on. They twist, pop back on. But the case actually sanitizes the
Ooh,
head
fancy.
the mask with
Yeah,
UV lighting. So I can't imagine that this is that comfy. You know how like with over ear headphones or something, you get like sweat
yeah,
around where it is if you wear it for like I am like with headphones you have to wear them for a while, but with the mask you're breathing into it,
yeah. You're
and your
breathing in it.
breath
It's
is
just like,
hot. You're just gonna
yeah,
have
you.
like a
It gets uncomfortable. And it's
you're gonna
just
have
like,
just an acne line of just like
yeah.
where your mask would be.
I don't know. I don't. I wouldn't get it for that because it's just. I don't know.
Also,
The
voice amp
cloth mask.
technology,
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be that so it can help.
so that way it's not
I don't.
muffled when you
Yeah, I don't
talk.
feel like I my voice is muffled when I have a mask on because it's just like.
I noticed that mine is, and I hate when like
But I don't know.
well,
I
like, cause,
don't.
well, like you talk 6 feet apart, so I hate when I'm
Yeah,
at like at the store and they say something and I have to like lean in a little bit because like I obviously don't want to get too close to the person. Also, they're behind
they're right behind that like
plastic,
plexiglass
so it's like
plastic thing.
they're already muffled because it's no different than this. So like if I talk to you like this, it's muffled and it's just my hands in front of my mask. It's
Yeah,
the same concept. So, but then they're wearing a mask and they're behind plexiglass, so they're double muffled, and I'm just like, what? You can
yeah,
talk louder. You're wearing a mask. You can't use normal voice.
yeah. That's why I just like. I mean, it's cool. The mask does that, and it's also probably clear to help with people that are like deaf
Or
or
Riri's.
whatever, like have some kind of hearing problem thing. I don't know. Uh, that's
Yeah.
cool, but
The,
again, it's just like it's a prototype, and if you can make it $50, not the Wish version, then I'd possibly kind of maybe think about it.
I would think about it, and I like the only reason I would get something like that is just to remember how preposterous 2020 was. What a waste! What a garbage can of a year, man! To waste an entire year. That was another reason why I just ended up going to Scott's wedding and then like going to like Shields afterward and to dinner was because I'm like. 2020 was such a garbage can of a year. Like I'm not going to do anything crazy and go to Lagoon theme park
Yeah,
uh, or to Disneyland, but I'm like it was such a garbage can of a year. Name one thing impressive that happened in 2020 that you attended.
I didn't attend anything.
And in 2019, like it's harder to remember 2019, but we went to family gatherings. We went to all
Yeah,
these different things. And it was like
I think I went to Disney World that year.
Well, exactly. Like, and I don't, I'm like, obviously we went places. I'm saying
No, we went things, but it
like
was just like,
something
yeah.
fun that you went to in 2020 doesn't exist
No, no.
because
The last fun thing was
because it
when
was
I spilled
closed.
cake in your car.
That's
That
true.
happened in 2020.
That wasn't fun for me though.
That's fair. Oh, I had fun.
But yeah, so that's I would get one of those just to remember the garbage can of a year that 2020 was.
Yeah, I can't wait to see in the future when children get the new updated textbooks, when they have to get updated for this new year, where it's just like, well, what happened this year? Well, the end of 2019, Australia was on fire. It was very scary. We sent all kinds of firefighters from around the world there. January, Kobe Bryant, the basketball legend, died in a crazy, horrific helicopter accident. COVID started. Literally, the US was out of toilet paper for about 3-ish months. People were crazy.
we had
We almost had World War III
we
by
had
Trump
everything
blowing up
but
that
toilet paper.
random general.
That was true.
Um,
That was like I don't remember being like as heightened about like following global politics. Like
that scared the shit out of me.
I follow U.S. politics very closely,
Yeah.
because it's just something that fascinates me because I like to judge people and tell them how stupid they are. But that was the only thing that true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree with the decision, but it's no different than like if I would have been this age and Osama bin Laden would have been murdered in the Obama administration. I would have held my breath then too, because that's a
Yeah.
big deal. But yeah, it's like I remember that and I was like, mm,
I was like, oh, maybe it wouldn't be so bad if Trump was the one that didn't, if it wasn't Trump. I don't, I don't
it
know. And
seems like the perfect person to start a world war in the perfect year. Like
yeah. And
that, like
it's
there's
just
nothing
like,
more
what else?
2020 than President Trump being in office, killing a bad guy, that a bad world leader, and I shouldn't say world leader because it's a small, but a foreign leader, and starting a world war sounds like the most
Yeah.
2020 thing to happen.
Yeah. And then what else? The random bees from Japan came over. I wasn't too afraid of that because this is their ecosystem and they would just die out because they're not used to our climate.
Oh, they realized that enough was going
Um,
on this year, and
yeah.
the since we live in a simulation,
We had an earthquake.
the creator decided that's too much.
We had the earthquake, but that was only for us. That was really intense. Um, we had the BLM movement. We had
Cities were on fire.
cities were on fire. It was kind of dormant for a little bit, and then Trump had to do one last shake of the hornet's nest, and
Yeah,
we had the Capitol. We had the Capitol breach, and now we have nothing
that was
really.
2021. We're
Oh,
doing
yeah, that
2020.
no, never mind. What? I don't think anything else happened.
Nothing else major happened except for like the sports world found a way to keep like to
Oh
come
yeah,
back and
sports still somehow found a
like
way.
UFC deserves a lot of credit because they
Yeah,
never stopped. So
yeah,
Dana White found a way to make it work. He made Fight Island. They fight in Abu Dhabi. They so it's like they deserve massive credit for that. And then the NBA managed to prove that you can do this in a bubble with team sports. The NFL, against all odds, somehow also
NFL did it.
finished their season.
MLB almost got canceled
MLB was
because they were just
close.
getting sick left and right.
Yeah, they were close to canceling their season. But other than that, it's like
Which is
it
surprising
was
because they're so far apart in baseball. Baseball is such like a
well clubhouses
yeah, that's true.
because the issue wasn't team to team. The issue was within teams.
Yeah,
So it's like they would go out and party, and then you hang out with everybody for hours and hours
yeah,
and hours in the clubhouse. So it's
yeah. So it
Rudy
was
Gobert
just
stopped the NBA
oh yeah,
season.
Rudy Gobert ruined basketball. He literally was the gas fire of the garbage can the world needed. He's
So
just like
leave it to the French.
it's not real. That
That
right
was
there is the most American thing a French person can do. Is just like you're wrong. Watch. No, 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 no.
and
No, no,
then
no.
the thing happened. Oh, that's like such. Of course, that would happen because he did that.
And you know what? It's going to be in history books. And it's no matter if you were just kidding, even though everyone knew you were. It's just, you
The
know
one
what?
thing that's nice that didn't happen though is maybe in
Aliens.
2021 we don't know yet. Aliens did happen. What are you talking about? The Pentagon. Remember in 2020, the Pentagon
Oh, yeah.
acknowledged that aliens do exist. At the very least, there's aircrafts that we have recovered that aren't of this world.
Oh, yeah. We were
So
talking to James about, but
exactly.
do you remember
It.
that like long space turd that like flew through our universe a while ago?
Mm,
They were talking about like, I can't remember who did it. It wasn't the guy that's like aliens. It wasn't that dude. It was like some other, probably equally crazy haired person. He was talking about the first time we will ever glimpse an alien civilization probably won't be them coming and destroying our planet like the way we think it's going to be or like in movies. It's going to be us fighting their garbage. And
that's
they're
true.
thinking that like that guy has a theory that like, that giant turd thing wasn't actually like a spaceship that people thought it was or like whatever it was. They think it was garbage or like
It
some
legitimately
sort
was a
of
turd.
some some sort of like recon
Hmm.
recon thing because
I
they're
believe
saying
that.
it was hauling ass and it wasn't towards any gravitational pull like things in our galaxy. And then it stopped kind of by Earth and then it just kept going. And people are like, maybe it's scouting out Earth, but it's just like, I'm not the best at physics, but normally if something gets tracked in something's gravity, it kind of goes slower for a little bit.
Well,
And it's just,
the hard thing is the you can't use Earth's logic with that kind of stuff because we didn't we don't think that space travel is possible according to our
yeah.
physics, according to our understanding of gravity at the very least.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
it's
like,
also, that's like that Neil deGrasse Tyson, what's his
mm,
name? But he was talking about like the fourth dimension and how
yeah,
things like aliens could be from the fourth dimension. And even though they exist with us, we can't see them because we only have three dimensions. And he was just, he did this really awesome like description. I'll butcher it if I tell you, but it was just like maybe it was a fourth dimension thing,
yeah,
maybe not.
it's one of those where it's like it hurts your head to comprehend. There's smart people comprehending it, so
Yeah, and I'm like,
don't waste
don't
your mind
worry.
power.
In due time, they will create stargates and other types of wormholes. It won't be in any of our futures.
It'll
It's
be
not
like
good.
Iron Man fighting the giant space worm
Yeah,
in
that's
Avengers. But the one thing that didn't happen in 2021 was we didn't see any kind of megalodons.
that would be cool if there was if they found megalodon. That'd be scary as shit. But I don't really go into oceans to begin with. I don't
That
trust
well,
them.
we've only explored what is it like 1-2% of the
Yeah,
actual, or
yeah,
is
we
it's like
can't go that far
10%
underwater
something,
because our
some
shit will
crazy
blow
low,
up.
like over like I think it's like 90% of the oceans haven't even
Yeah,
been touched. Where you can
yeah, we
see
can't go
like,
that far. We don't have
yeah,
anything that can withstand that kind of pressure.
yeah, like we've seen like 10% just because of sonar. But yeah, it's like, so who knows? But so the megalodon was an actual thing, but so they reached 50 feet in length. So
Yeah, that's so big. That's like two buses or something.
how
That's like a
many
50-foot trailer.
how many foot longs? So that's 50
50?
foot longs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine 50 foot longs from Subway and just on end.
Just like and it's like a big
Exactly.
centipede.
Exactly. It's a human centipede of Subway footlong. So imagine
Yeah.
that with teeth that they eat their own babies.
They like eat anything. It doesn't
So
matter. They never sleep. They
so
just
the crazy thing
constantly
about the
wander.
megalodon is they found that it gave birth to large newborns that would also eat their siblings.
Which makes sense. Well, not about them eating themselves, but it makes sense. I mean, they're 50 feet. It's not like it's gonna shit out something that's like a baby like our size, where it's like maybe 12 to 18 inches.
I
It's
mean,
gonna be like
yeah,
this big ass thing,
like that's the thing. Like to think about it like that because
or like a giraffe.
like baby elephants come out weighing like 400 pounds or some shit. Like
Yeah, because
like the
we're
ground shakes when they give birth.
yeah. It's just like, well, duh, it's big, it's cool. Then let me know that it's gonna at least the size of a LeBron James.
LeBron James. Megalodon gave birth to LeBron James.
Good God.
But it says that the babies were larger than most adult humans, and they would eat each other.
Straight up Highlander, they can only be one.
That's true. They are one of the largest carnivores that ever existed on Earth. Deciphering such growth parameters of Omegalodon. So they're still studying them to see what the hell went on before we were here. But the full name is Autodus megalodon.
No, I don't know. I don't know why they give them these weird Latin Greekish names.
I don't understand why you need the Autodus.
It's probably
O-T-O-D-U-S.
the genus or whatever. What comes before genus?
Penis.
No, that's in the bottom. I don't know. I did intro to species or some shit like that, and they were talking about the genuses and subgenuses, and like that's the reason why Homo sapiens are like humans, because there's Homo and it's just like same, and all these, that's how they classify it, and it's just stupid. It makes sense if you're into that world, but if you're not, you're just, how the fuck do you say this name?
Yeah, I don't understand like how scientists can figure that stuff out, because they can piece together like my biggest question is like, obviously they can find smaller fossils and then piece the small, but how do you know that's a baby? How do you know there's not one smaller than that?
That's true. That's why I'm like, who's the person that found Megalodon? Did they shit their pants and they're just like, dude, I think this is still a part of the same shark?
Well, yeah, like that's how it would have to be, is like, another great white. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the dude, the class I just told you, like that weird animal species type of thing where he was genealogy, I think that's what it's called. But he was talking about like he had to, before he got his certificate and like or graduated, he had to do like his hours and stuff like doctors do. And he said he worked at like a museum putting dinosaurs together. And he was like, well, how do I put it together? And he's like, the main person that was helping him was like, honestly, we just put two pieces together, and if it looks, and if the joints match up, then we count that as it. Yeah. He's like, we kind of have an idea of what they look like, but like, we don't exactly know what dinosaurs look like.
Some dinosaurs had feathers.
Yeah, it's like, we recently found out some of them had feathers. What if some of them had a jerry curl? We don't know. The dinosaur screams, that's just from Jurassic Park. We don't know what noise they made.
It's like when they recreated those vocals from that mummy.
So it's just like
a person just ah.
So it's just like, oh, okay, I guess. Yeah, and I was like, we're supposed to be listening to these eggheads that don't exactly know either. Okay,
that's true. Yeah, it's like nobody knows it. That's why, like, when it comes to these, like, it's fascinating to read about it, but you kind of take all of it with a grain of salt. Where it's like, I know that the babies have to be big because they're 50 Subway sandwiches long, but
and I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, I've been inside one of those for every day for like the last 5 years when I worked at FedEx, when I would load those big ass 50-foot trailers. That's big.
I've eaten about 50 foot longs from Subway in my lifetime.
I guess I could eat a megalodon if you give me enough time.
I mean, shark fin soup is supposed to be really popular in Asian countries.
You're not supposed to be an advocate for that, because they cut the fins off of a shark while it's still alive, and it just floats to the bottom of the ocean, and other animals eat it, and it can't swim away.
Now that's a danger log.
You are not nice. Do not support them.
I never said I ate it. That's not.
Let the record show that Matthew is a connoisseur of shark fin soup.
Let me get that danger log. A danger Tootsie Roll. That's what we should have called the alien flyby. But so I wanted to end with talking about our new podcast.
Yes.
And the name that we have so far, I haven't checked the social medias because I've been too busy making the campaign, Tony. So
we'll see. You should get on it.
What was the name that we decided on?
Perception Check.
That's right. So our new Dungeons and Dragons podcast that we're going to be starting most likely next week is going to be our first episode. So it's going to be perception check. So the next week, I don't anticipate that it will be too action packed. Mainly just getting to know our characters and stuff like that. We're still getting everybody lined up. So we'll most likely play a snippet of that show at the end of at the end of Soul Talk here. So we'll go through Soul Talk as normal next week, and then we'll put like 10, 15 minutes in of that campaign to get you guys into what D&D is and that kind of stuff. And then if you guys want to listen to more of that, we'll have that whole separate thing set up. But what I wanted to do is give everybody here a sneak peek of what it's called and the brief synopsis. Your mic is muted.
Oh, tits.
Nice. So it's called Shadow Realm, as it was in the end.
Ooh, I love it.
So here's the synopsis of it. Let me make sure I'm reading the right thing so I don't give you any spoilers, because I have a lot of notes on this page, so I can't.
You give out the ending. Ah, bitch.
Back. Delete. So okay, so
What was that from?
in the Shadow Realm, you are now seeing yourself in. You can never be sure what lies ahead of you. Whether it be friend or foe, you just never know. Where Dr. Seuss doesn't exist, nor Silverstein too.
Ooh, that's heavy.
What's here before you might be out for blood or even hiding in mud. Don't pet the strays, and nowhere here has mayonnaise, so don't ask.
Bitch.
And that's the synopsis.
I like it. I'm excited.
So essentially, our campaign is going to take place in a shadow realm of sorts, and what I'm thinking of is it's going to be more of a dark theme, as in terms of like shadows, things around corners that you're not expecting, all that, lots of action, problem solving, and stuff like that. In terms
Dark
of
Souls?
What?
Like Dark Souls?
Exactly. That like that's the kind of thing I'm picturing, like a darker campaign where you're walking down not expecting something, and then boom, you get fucked. So
Yep, that's Dark Souls.
exactly. So we're gonna start with our group of wannabe legends in the center of Shadowfall. How they all got there is the mystery, and we will find out what brought them all together. So it's going to be
Sounds awesome.
nothing but crazy fun, and you guys will be hearing like I said, next week we'll put the first like 10 minutes ish, and then listen to that to get to know all of the wannabes. So we're going to be the wannabe crew, essentially, if you haven't picked that up yet, because you guys are hopefully you guys are good enough to be heroes, but right now just a couple of wannabes trying to make it through in the Shadow Realm. But definitely, if you guys have any tips for me being a DM, we just picked this up not even a month ago, so I've been
like
trying
3-ish weeks ago.
I've been like trying to just suck in all the information. I'm like a vacuum of suck for D&D information.
Yes, he sucks and swallows.
That's true. Only D&D information. I can't tell you how many dice I've eaten.
I can tell you how many Jessica have eaten. At least one.
But
yes, this is gonna be exciting. We both have been. This is some random thing we didn't think we would really like as much as we do, and it's a good way to like experience with the podcast. Like Matt said, it's going to be a different podcast. They're probably going to be about 2 hours long. I don't exactly know. Do you know how long like the whole campaign's going to be? Like
the whole campaign is going to be so the fun thing is I've always liked writing, and it's going to be not a serious one. So don't at me with it's not how you're supposed to do that. That's not what this is a comedy podcast, and we're going to follow the rules, like, and then but if it's like if a spell requires you have ice and flint, I'm not going to be like, do you have ice and flint? It's going to be I cast this spell or this cantrip, and then it's going to be
it's going to be
exactly. So it's just going to be easy listening, bang bang bang, and then we're going to try to make it funny while playing D&D, and we hope you guys are here for it. We're going to be live streaming it to Twitch. We're going to have the podcast for it, and then it's going to be up on YouTube as well. So we're going to hit it from 3 angles. So
Three Z's.
so if you guys have any kind of tips or anything for me being the first kind of DM, let me know. But as far as how long it's going to be, we can have as many story arcs as we want. And like me and you and Jess. So you and Jess are for sure going to be on it. We still have to ask other people. And but we've already discussed like doing fun little side things, whether it be like Harry Potter or like Lord of the Rings, some random like things just to keep it interesting while I continue writing. But it's really going to be me writing, and at most, or at the very least, it'll be like 10 sessions, so like 10 2-hour sessions.
Yeah,
so
I'm like, it's going to be at least 10 to 12 hours. So it's going to be.
But like this is just our first campaign.
Yeah.
So our first
No,
campaign
I don't
is just
want
going to be
something
like
like crazy.
everybody getting used to
Yeah.
it, and then so it's just gonna be everybody getting used to it, and then right when everyone's used to it, it's most likely like I'm gonna try to find a natural way to end it, where it's a good solid like 10 minimum 10 sessions that, so it's 20 hours of listening. So that's
Yeah,
gonna
that'd be awesome. I'm excited. You guys better be excited. So let us know if you guys have any tips and tricks for us to be doing this.
or what I should buy, if anything I can buy.
Yeah,
would
if
help
there's
me on, like,
other study
Amazon.
material, I don't know if you
And
guys
don't
have.
tell me to read the book. God, I've already looked up. Like, I don't need to buy the book. I could just Google it. I've Googled
Yeah,
everything
I
I
don't-
need so far for my campaign.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Also, let us know if. No, never mind. Never mind. Forget that I said the last part.
He's embarrassed. He doesn't want you to let us know. But we'll
Yes.
talk to you guys next week, and be prepared to have your mind
To be
blown.
blasted.
So be prepared to check your constitution. So we'll talk about the perception check when we get there next week, and then so go ahead and listen to this, like, share, follow, repeat, tell other people. You guys are doing great. We're on episode 4.
Episode 4, and this is season 1 of Soul Talk.
Yes.
We've been doing this for over a year, which is awesome. Oh, it's another 365 we can say that we've done. Actually, no, we haven't really done it every day, but we did do this every week for a whole year. So we can
call it
60
a series.
we have 60 episodes. We have 60 episodes, right? Because we did one a week, so there would be 56, and this is 4, so 60, right? Yeah, so we're at 60 episodes. It's good.
Yeah, we have so far in the Soul Talk era, we're averaging like, again, it spikes at random times because you guys are awesome and either telling people about it or people are somehow finding it. I don't know how they would randomly find it. So you guys are telling people about it, and we get about 20 listens. We get like 20 listens, but then more people are still listening to Juicebox Talk before we transitioned over to where we know what we're doing. So we get like a week where we get 20 people listening to the episode we just put out, and then we get another week where we get people listening to the episode we just put out, and then people backlog listening. So we get like 70 plays in a week, which is crazy to think about that. Like, we have 25, 35 people listening to us talk.
Yeah, every week. That's really cool.
It's very interesting to think about. So hopefully you guys like D&D.
Yeah.
But we'll talk to you guys next week. Stay fresh and roll your D20s, ladies.
Yeah, perception check this.